2017, Nintendo has released what was considered at the time one of the most famous consoles ever, the Nintendo Switch. A combination of a handheld and home console is one of the most revolutionary ideas Nintendo has so far. And now we reach 2025. It's been 8 years since the original Switch has been released. And so now, we're gonna push these to the side to make room for the big boys in town. The Nintendo Switch 2. It's obviously made no secret that ever since its release on June 5th, it's being sold like crazy through every retailer that you can imagine, like Walmart, Target, Best Buy, any other retailer you can think of anyways. So I missed the opportunity to get my very own as well. So I was left no choice but to wait for like over a month I did try to call Walmart once before, and they were sold out still, because what I mean is that I have to wait for at the end of the month until they restock again. Well, that's definitely a different story right there. So after a bit of waiting for at the end of July, I finally got it. Oh, and also includes a downloadable version of Mario Kart World. So, with that out of the way, let's get right to it. Let's open up and see what's inside. Right off the bat, you start off by opening from the bottom of the box, obviously, and from there you start to look at the important stuff that you need to know, such as the necessities that you need to put your Switch 2 together, following through every step from 1 to 9, along with some tips that you need to follow by using your device for a license agreement, what to do if you have your own Nintendo account, as well as a Switch Online membership, a system update that requires a Play-compatible Switch software, and that the Switch 2 has only 256 gigabytes of internet storage. And you can use a micro SD express memory card to expand your available storage. And last but not least, there's a warning sign that's very, very, very important to all you people who have epilepsy that can't handle flashing lights. And as usual, all the stuff that's written here are not only in English, but also in French and Spanish/Espanol. Once you unattach the flap and open the lid, you're given more instructions on the inside with 2 easy steps. With 1, plug it in, and 2, set it up. Also, depending on which country you live in, there's this little message right here that says that the AC adapter and power outlet configurations may vary outside of the US. Also, on the bottom left, there's some download instructions for you to get Mario Kart World on the Nintendo eShop. Here it is. See right here we have the main screen right here, which of course is the console itself. Boy, look how glossy it looks. And as you can see right here, we also have 2 main slots where the Joy-Cons should be at. Speaking of which, we have right here the Joy-Cons. Well, we'll get to the other stuff later on that's in the box. But first, this will be the main attraction right here. So, I'm going to turn it on. Says you have to attach these onto this. So, let's just take them out. Ooh, nice. Let's start off with the left one. And now, the right one. Once you put it all together, you get to see the logo. And from there, you start off by setting up your Switch. Some of it is just the usual stuff like telling it what country you live in, what region you are, see if you can accept the end user license agreement, and most importantly, asking you what time zone that you're in. It says right here you can play Switch 2 games wherever you want, and you can even change the angle of the rear stand, and you can now connect your AC adapter on the top. And these right here are the two-step instructions of detaching the Joy-Cons. So, I'm going to do exactly that. Once you've done all that, you're also getting another instruction of pressing the A button on the right Joy-Con. After you've done that too, you can also connect it to the TV, which I'll do later. You can also view the attachment guide, play any Switch 2 game in different styles that you choose, but it says right here I cannot download update data. So for more details of the problem are ready for review, and you're given a chance to scan the QR code that has an error code which says a server communication error has occurred. Please try again later. So I will. Here's where you can also transfer all your data from the original Switch to the Switch 2. So I decided not to do it just yet and do it for later. Also, you can create your own user account. Also, you have the choice to sign in or add without signing in. So I decided to go for the second option instead. After that, you can create your own icon here. You can choose what your favorite Nintendo character is. So I chose Mario, obviously. And you can choose a different variety of colors. So I chose red. After you're finished with that, you can also create your own nickname for your user. And after you're finished with that, you're ready to go. And finally, if you have children, there's also some parental controls to let them know when their playtime is up. Well, I don't have any children of my own, so I might as well skip it. And last but not least, once you press the home button, you're greeted with this. After all that, you're greeted with the home screen. And you could do just about anything here. You could check up on the latest news, go shopping on the Nintendo eShop, look at your photos and videos, change up your settings, or just about everything here. Now that I've shown what the Switch 2 is all about and how awesome it is, let's just move this right here to the side and get back to the box. See right in here, we got some more accessories. Okay. Let's see, we got ourselves a little charging block, which is actually the AC adapter. After that, I unravel the power outlet, which is you use to connect the AC adapter. Joy-Con controller. This is one of the best accessories for both the original and the Switch 2. Just like from the main screen console, they have color outlets on both sides, light blue and salmon. Just like the original Switch Joy-Con controller, all you have to do is connect them both together, and then you make yourself one big controller. But you already knew that. And finally, the main attraction. The home dock. I have got a lot of things to compare about this and the original. Of course you already know how this works. Once you put the main screen console on the dock, you detach the Joy-Cons from it and continue playing the game as usual on your TV screen. Now you think that's all that I got from here, right? Wrong. That's because that the other accessories were hiding behind this health and safety information and usage guidelines. Of course, that is very, very important to read, so make sure you read all the information that's on this so you can have a good time and play safely on the Switch 2. Or you could just put it back in the box and just... because you already know that you're going to be very responsible with it anyways. Now this one right here that was hiding behind the safety guidelines booklet, is the HDMI cable. That has ultra high speed. Can't forget about that. Or you can attach to the dock itself to the TV. Of course, that's very, very important. And these two right here are the Joy-Con straps, where you can attach to one of the Joy-Cons right here and use them as a computer mouse. Alright, let's test them out. I thought I would start off with the right one first, and as you can see right here, I'm just having a bit of a difficult time getting the Joy-Con strap attached to the Joy-Con itself. Don't judge me. I'm just trying my best, you know. So, after all that trial and error, I finally got the strap attached to the Joy-Con finally. And so, I did the same with the left one. And now, both my Joy-Cons have now become PC mice. No pun intended. Alright, let's try it out on here and see if it works. As you can see from right here, I haven't really gotten it to work just yet. And as you can see, it's still controlling as a regular Joy-Con really does. I try to go to things to help out that situation I'm having, but for some reason I decided to just turn it off to do it later. However, I don't have a game that really controls like how a computer game actually works, or just like on any other PC, but if I do get a chance to play that game, I would definitely love to try it out. Or at least, that's what I thought was happening. As it turns out, when I was done filming this entire video, I actually got the mouse function to work this whole time. All you have to do is attach the Joy-Con strap to the controller itself, press either the plus or minus button, and then you choose a different button number, and you can use it for both scrolling through the home menu and while playing a game, and you're good to go. Unfortunately, I never actually played a game that has PC elements to it, just like any other computer game. But I have heard in recent news that they're bringing back Mario Paint exclusively for this console for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System Online collection. So, I'm definitely looking out for that. Of course you already know by now, if you take a look at this button right here, of course you already know what this is. If you ever had the original console, that when you press it, it takes pictures. Also, when you hold on it for a little longer more, you can also record videos too. Which I did forget to mention. Sorry. And when you press the home button, well, you know, takes you back to the main menu. And also this little button that has the letter C in the shape of a square. And when you press this, it turns on game chat. This right here is a handy little function that you can put on while doing both playing video games and striking a good conversation with good friends. Of course, I haven't updated to the system yet, so I might do that later. And that's all there is to it. I haven't really played any new games on it yet, and it's also a shame that I made the decision to not transfer all my original Switch games to the new console. So, like I said, I'll probably do it later. Now that we're all done with the unboxing, I think this is the part that you've been waiting for the most. I'll be comparing to the original Switch along with its younger brother. What makes the Switch 2 very interesting comparing to the original is about its size and length. And yes, including the Joy-Cons. For example, the first generation Switch is about 4.2 in height and 9.40 wide. Moving on to the Switch 2, it's about 4.5 in height and 10.7 wide. As you can see from both consoles, the Switch 2 is bigger than the original. Ain't that amazing? If you do have the original Switch, one of the main things that you have to do to get the Joy-Cons off of the main console screen is to slide them in and out of it. Now the one important thing you have to ask me is, how am I able to slide them out once I got them in? Right here they have these little buttons that you have to hold on real tightly so you can slide them out just like that. So you can play them as separate controllers by yourself or with a friend. And if you wanted to turn it back into a handheld, you have to slide them back in just to hear a little click. And there you go. Now, the Joy-Cons on the Switch 2 is very special. Instead of sliding them out, they are magnetic. To get these out as well, these are little side triggers that if you hold on tightly onto those, they snap off. Like I said before, these Joy-Cons are magnetic. Instead of sliding them out and back in, you have to snap them back on like this. And there you have it. Of course you can do the same thing when you have a Joy-Con controller. Starting with the original Switch, where you could just do the usual stuff like sliding them in. And for the Switch 2 version, you could just snap them on with the greatest of ease, like this. And once you have them all together, you're ready to play. Next up, let's talk about the rear stand. The original for the Switch is probably just basic. You can only use it on one side, but if you're not careful, it might tip over at some point if you make a wrong move. But as for the Switch 2, makes it even better, and more easier too, to make the Switch 2 more stable while you're playing. Not to mention that there's also some hidden slots underneath them where you could put your micro SD express cards right in there so you can add more storage space. The final thing that we'll be discussing is one of their home docks. But of course you already know how this thing works. Once you put the Switch back in its place, you unattach the Joy-Cons from the screen itself, and then you just play them as regular handheld controllers. But heck, you already knew that. Now you can tell that both docks are very different. Starting with the original is in the shape of a rectangle, with all 4 sides and 4 angles. For the Switch 2, the bottom half is more angular while the top is more curvy. And with all that, that's all I gotta say about both Switches. Now, I want to end off this video by presenting myself proper, because I'm wearing something that relates to Nintendo as a whole. Well, with the exception of Bucky's, because they're not a part of Nintendo. But the hat is red, and Mario wears red, and I guess that counts. Well, anyway, besides that, I want to end off with this little message. I was looking forward to the Nintendo Switch 2. However, I missed off the opportunity to get it on the day it was released, June 5th. I contacted my local Walmart to see if they have them restocked, but they wouldn't restock at the end of the month, which is July. However, I didn't get it until the end of July, which is the final days that I actually got it. However, I do want to mention one thing. I'm really glad that everyone out there has gotten this console, but I just want you all to know that you should give humbling people like myself a chance to try out this console. And I will say, this is not Black Friday, everyone. You are treating this thing like it's a Beatles concert in the 1960s. And, well, that's the way I thought about it, and that's all I ever thought of when you get the idea. All I'm saying is that you should give people like me a chance to try this thing out. And you should definitely get your opportunity to do so. Maybe you can get it now, or maybe later, or maybe you can get it for Christmas too. I mean, who knows? You might like it as much as I do. Well, actually I haven't played any games on it yet, so definitely to do that. Especially download the Mario Kart World game. With that being said, not only that I have one Nintendo Switch, but now I have two Nintendo Switches. One Switch, two Switch, red Switch, blue Switch. Eat your heart out, Dr. Seuss. Well, anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you comment down below and tell me what you think. What are your thoughts on Switch 2? As well as the comparisons of both Switches. Give this video a like and feel free to subscribe whenever you like. Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to download Mario Kart World on this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.